3 hours south of Perth, Smiths Beach is a haven of natural beauty. Tourists flock here to enjoy the pristine landscape on the Cape to Cape track.
It's one of the most popular and well-loved beaches of people from Perth and the southwest.
But Smiths Beach is also synonymous with one of the more scandalous chapters in the state's political history.
It's like taking an East Perth-style development and placing it here down at Smiths Beach. It's quite inappropriate for this area.
Lobbying around a development at Smiths in the early 2000s led to a Corruption and Crime Commission investigation embroiling former Premier Brian Burke. Mr Burke was charged with 5 counts of lying to the investigation and was acquitted on 4 charges. The site at Smiths Beach has remained undisturbed for years, despite a development plan being approved.
So this is kids?
Now there are plans to expand the project's footprint.
The fact is this developer wants to increase that by 30% in an area that the EPA has already noted that shouldn't be developed and is currently approved as a future national park.
The developer is Perth-based Adrian Finney, who has owned the land since 2014 with 3 other families. He told 7:30 his new proposal would have less of an impact on the landscape and result in a better environmental outcome.
What we're trying to do is save Smiths Beach from the present approval and deliver a much better outcome at a community level and at a tourism level. We've spoken to in excess of 200 people in the local community down there.
Mr Finney is planning to lodge an application for approval under new COVID-prompted planning laws. Mid-last year, WA Planning Minister Rita Safiotti introduced a new bill with bipartisan support, meaning the WA Planning Commission would be the sole decision-maker for some projects under a newly created State Development Assessment Unit. The process means developers can avoid the approval systems of a local council.
If it is so wonderful, why does he need to go through a short-tracked process that allows him to bypass the local town planning scheme?
It's not fast. It's still, most probably a couple of years to get an approval. It ensures that we are shovel-ready to deliver.
In WA, the memory of the WA Inc. era looms large. It refers to a series of deals struck between big business figures and the then Labor government, led by Brian Burke in the 1980s. The McGowan government's perceived closeness to developers became an election issue earlier this year. Mr Finney's real estate development firm Hesperia donated more than $50,000 to WA Labor last year, something he says is not unusual.
Well, Hesperia is not an owner of the site. It's actually one of the numerous consultants on the project. We donate to Liberal and Labor parties. We attend forums, lunches, dinners to ensure that we're part of the process, the political process.
Smiths Beach is a site, with history. Given that history to the site, are you at all concerned, by a perception that local processes are being bypassed, even if you feel that they're not?
Well, no, I'm not concerned at all. And there are no politicians who are in the decision-making process of this project.
A state government spokesperson told 7:30 meetings to determine significant development proposals are open to the public and all agenda papers and decisions are published online. Concern about the fast-track approval process extends far beyond here at Smiths Beach. Several projects have already been given the green light by the special unit, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Some observers are also concerned an environment's being created where important checks and balances could be left behind.
Local governments tend to understand their local areas much better than state government does.
Richard Muirhead is the former head of the WA government's Redevelopment Authority. He oversaw major projects under Liberal and Labor state governments.
We're on thin ice with hot skates at the moment with where this is going.
And where could that go?
Well, it could go to the point where Governments can almost hand-pick projects that they want to fast-track.
Planning Minister Rita Safiotti told 7:30 in a statement no application has been lodged for a development at Smiths Beach to be determined by the WAPC. She said the minister does not determine applications. Any proposed development would be subject to community consultation and undergo rigorous assessment and independent oversight.
We're going to meet the highest standards ever delivered in any form of coastal village in Australia.
Adrian Finney plans to lodge an application with the special unit by the end of the year. David Mitchell, who used to work for Mr Finney, insists he and his dad Bill just want to ensure the best outcome for Smiths Beach.
We aren't anti-development. We're happy for development as long as it's sustainable and it doesn't go against the integrity of the landscape. And that's been the case for over 20 years. Nothing's changed.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.